Coming up here, Circle the Big Podcast, episode 55. As we're going to go ahead and discuss this past week, Aew Dynamite. We're going to go ahead and recap. And also pro wrestling news and another Black Wednesday, unfortunately. And this time it's not the main roster. It's now the NXT roster that was hit. Very deficient talents that were released, unexpected too. And also New Japan news, NXT news, and more coming to you here on episode 55. So don't go anywhere. It's about to start ahorita. Welcome everyone to the Circle Big Podcast, episode 55, 55 episodes in, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, it's a lot. We're almost there. We're halfway there to, getting to 100. It's the host of Devious One obviously here with my familia. With of course, he's getting ready, man. This is the by God of podcasting, ladies and gentlemen. He is the God of podcasting. And I will have to give him his introduction if I do not give him the introduction properly. Of course, he's part of D-Generation West as well, courtesy of Dirty Heels. Shout out to Kenneth and Brother Bo. Subscribe. So, without ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and introduce this individual. Let me get my mic ready.
Give the people what they want.
I have to give the people what they want. That is right. Because you know why? Because he is a multi-chart recording artist, a graduate from Council Dominguez Hills. He is a 2018 Los Angeles World Karaoke Champion. Well, actually, 2019 World Karaoke Champion. Excuse me.
Still waiting for my award. Send it.
Yeah, well, they have to send it from like 1,977,000 miles from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Because he is the master disaster, the king of Sting, the man with the plan. Money, Mike.
Proper head movement is the key. Bam, bam. There you go.
There you have it. Yes, so we're going to mention my michelada right here. Guess not. And also to our audio platform listeners, of course, you got to subscribe to our channel in order to see us live. And of course, Matt Callis will be joining us soon. Fortunately, the director, he's out there directing something somewhere.
He's directing traffic.
He's directing traffic. That's right. He has a lot of things to do. So, maybe he'll join us. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe not, but
stay tuned, folks.
Stay tuned. All righty, ladies and gentlemen. But before we even start with Dynamite, let's go ahead and recap. I want to give congratulations to Moose becoming the #1 contender, who will be challenging Kenny Omega against all odds on June 12th, and he will be challenging Omega for the Impact and TNA World Championship, and I'm looking forward to it because this is everybody been wanting to see this match between Moose and Kenny Omega, so this is going to be an interesting fight, and we cannot wait. We'll discuss that when it comes closer to that card, but I know Money Mike's excited because that's a match we've been wanting to see, and now it's coming in fruition.
But may I say that I think they should have held off on this. I would have wanted Sammy to be first, maybe a couple other people, Cardona, maybe, and then Moose. It's all good.
By the looks of it here, I'll tell you this though, that what happened on Impact was obviously Sammy came in and saved Moose from the Elite. He was about to get jumped, but in the beginning of the show of Impact, so it looks like it might be Sammy after Moose. Maybe that's how it looks like.
I agree. Yes,
that's how it looks like. So we'll have to wait and see, most definitely. Now let's go ahead and move on, ladies and gentlemen, to this past week, AEW Dynamite. Start with the opening match. Of course, his peeps out there, Christian Cage, ladies and gentlemen, defeating Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal. Which, speaking of Matt, we don't even know where's Matt. But yes, it was a great match. Great opening match. Great instant classic. Right after the match, we did see Ricky Starks coming out, pretty much calling out, calling on Christian Cage that we're not done yet. We still have unfinished business with. And then we see Team Taz attack from behind. And then also we see Adam Page coming to make the save. But then, unfortunately, he gets powerbombed by the one and only Machine Brian Cage, leaving all the faces down and out and seeing Team Taz, on top of the mountain. What I did like, though, I'll tell you one thing, Money Mike. You saw Hook. Hook, I'm curious to see what his future is in pro wrestling. I cannot wait to see his debut once he's ready to go. But that suplex on Matt Sydal, like father, like son. I definitely enjoyed that. So let the people know your thoughts about this opening match, Money Mike.
Yeah, man. I'll start with Hook. Like father, like son. What's that saying? The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. Taz unfortunately cannot wrestle anymore, but everything that he has is being passed on to Hook. So, hopefully we see him in the ring soon. Yeah, I like that background.
I have to do it. Yes, we're on Dynamite.
So yeah, definitely, I'm all for that. What happened to the Brian Cage face turn is what I want to know. It just went away, disappeared. But I guess maybe long-term storytelling, we'll see that pop up eventually. Let's see, Christian Cage. I am so glad that he's wrestling people that otherwise he wouldn't have been wrestling. In WWE, he would have just been a victim for Roman Reigns. He would have been coming out sporadically and this and that. The guy can still perform, and I really liked the spear. He was doing that edge pose in the corner, just all those little details, cool stuff. Ricky Starks. I'll say this, that Ricky Starks is good on the mic. So unfortunately he was injured, and what an injury that was, in his match with Adam Page. I think back to when Stone Cold was injured and how Stone Cold was able to take advantage of a bad situation and made it good, in that he didn't wrestle matches for a period of time and focused on promos and developing his character and showing how badass he was and on this and that. I think Ricky Starks has the ability on the mic to be able to do something, maybe not like Stone Cold style, but in his own way of getting over with the fans through his speaking, because he has that tool, and has the ability to kind of bring himself up. Having said that, I do think that what he said kind of lacked a little bit. I want more on the mic from Ricky Starks, and hopefully, because of his injury, he's able to provide that.
I think so too. I am with you that. I think he's a great promo guy. I think he doesn't really need Taz to do all the promo talking. He can do it himself. And most definitely, I would love to see him just doing it for Cage and Hobbs and Hook. Heck, even for Hook, why not? But I'm not saying that Taz is not a bad manager at all. It's just that it's almost kind of the same repetitive kind of promos he kind of uses majority of time when Taz speaks. So that's what I'm like, someone fresh, something different. So what Ricky Starks can definitely be that promo guy for Team Taz. While Taz can do the commentating. Oh, there goes my team. There goes my squad. Yes, let Ricky Starks do the talking for them. I definitely agree, but definitely Hook, man. I'm looking forward to see Hook's future on that. I cannot wait to see him, his in-ring performance, man. And I will be shocked if he has the same finisher as his father. What was it? The Taz mission. The Hook mission. It's the Hook. Yeah. Like, oh man, that'll be something, right? And with Brian Cage, what about the face? I think yes, we'll see that down the line. I don't see it now. I think they were waiting for the. I think it'll happen when Ricky Starks come back healthy. Maybe it'll happen then. I think that's when the breakup will begin.
Right.
That's what I see. Or unless we'll see if if Task maybe causes Cage to lose by accident against Adam Hangman Page. Who knows? There's so much that we can go ahead and assume, but we have to wait and see on that. All right. Now, this is the one I've been wanting to talk about because, oh my God. Yes, the Acclaim versus Omega. Eddie Kingston and Moxley. But it's just that promo. I can literally say right now that was the best, rap one by far. Like Eddie Kingston, this, looking like his 04, looking like a box of Newports. I'm like, oh, and then also then Moxley, I'm gonna hit you with this microphone like Kenny Omega did, and tell your girl Renee to stop mentioning me because I know she wants those oral sessions. I'm like, oh, what if he said that? I was like, and right away you saw Moxley attacked him. Mike came in the ring, whooped his ass. I loved it. That match. It was a brawl for all match for sure, and I loved it because they're two brawlers going at it with these two, talented young stars. Of course, they picked up the win, Moxley and Kingston, but just that Acclaim promo, man, I loved it. I think that's the best one by far I ever heard. Out of all the ones that he disses, this is like the best diss. So I don't know how you feel about that. You tell me.
Yeah, definitely. I've said it before. I've said it to people. I've hyped up Max Caster as being a future top player in AEW. Maybe even so when the Acclaimed is over. I do feel that if we were to bring that comparison of Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, I think Max Caster is the Shawn Michaels of this tag team, if I may say. So really, at the beginning when they started this whole thing, everybody said, "Oh, they're just John Cena knockoffs or John Cena ordered from Wish." But I feel if he keeps delivering these promos, he's building a name for himself through this, doing it. I might even say better than John Cena.
Whoa, that is a bold statement there, brother.
Because
wow,
Cena, I can't imagine Cena saying even as a heel, saying anything like that about someone's actual wife. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
I think he could. I think
you think
he
so?
has the balls to say it. He has the balls to say it. I'm hoping that Caster asked Mox saying that I'm going to say this about Predation.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure. He said, "Yeah, man, go ahead, bro. I don't care. Just know I'm going to whip your ass." I'm pretty sure. But man, what a beating!
I don't know if this was part of the plan or if this was agreed on or whatever, said in the back. When I forgot the partner's name. Well, when he's about to say, "Oh, the Acclaimed has arrived."
Yeah.
He got in the ring and he said, "Hey," or he was, usual thing. I don't know if he knew that Moxley was coming at him. I don't know. I couldn't tell how real that moment was because it was just. I actually laughed out loud at that moment. This was just so hilarious. It was cool. Great moment. And honestly, when it comes to the Acclaimed, I feel the most talked about part is the promo at the beginning, the rap at the beginning. It was great.
It was good. It was good shit. It was just good shit. I loved it.
Yeah.
Man, I just can't believe it. And have you noticed when Caster first did the first diss on Kingston, he's about the Newports, and you see how Moxley's like, "Yeah, man, you smoke too much." Oh my God, my goodness. I love it, man. I love this tag team duo, Moxley and Kingston. I just wish they could be a little bit more aggressive. This is more like a jokingly, like, "Oh yeah, hey, bye." Like, okay, it's cool.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of DX 2006.
Yes. I'm with
like
you.
More jokey than cutting edge.
Yes.
Which is fine. It's fine. I'm cool with it with these guys.
Oh man, but it was overall it was great. All right, so let's move on with this other segment here with the Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Very quick. Of course, they, cause they wanted to take credit for Darby losing the TNT. But then you see how Sting came out of nowhere, started to go ahead and attacking both of these individuals with Darby. And now we already got an answer. So that's next week on Double or Nothing. Sting's first in-ring match in front of a crowd. Yeah. Now teaming with Darby Allin against Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. What are your expectations for this upcoming tag team match? And are you actually intrigued in seeing how Sting's physical condition will be for the first time in I don't know how many years? It's been like what? I know it has been not that many. Like what? Been 5, maybe 4?
I believe it's 7.
7. Okay,
since
7?
Night of Champions.
Damn, has been that long time. Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I think so.
Doesn't count here.
But, I mean, WWE just would use him as a legend for Legends Night. He would just come out and wave at the crowd, and no physicality at all. Mm-hmm. It's interesting because an icon like Sting, who has done so much for the industry and had so many classic matches, I am very sure he didn't want for that Rollins match to be his final match ever. I'm sure of it. I'm sure he is not happy with that. So, which is why he's going to perform at Double or Nothing in front of a crowd live. And he's in there with professionals. He's in there with awesome talent. Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, Darby Allin, great talent there. So he'll be fine. It's not going to be like, or at least I'm hoping, it's not going to be like the Brothers of Destruction versus DX. I'm hoping that it's not like that. So yeah, Sting will be fine, and I'm glad. I'm happy that he's getting his second shot at a retirement run.
Oh yeah, I mean, what, he's 62, so he's having this is his last. I guess I could say this is his final run, maybe. Yeah. As an in-ring performer, that he will go like how we mentioned before in the archives, ladies and gentlemen, that he wants to go out his way, and I think this is the right way for him. And I'm all for it. But as a person, I do have an open heart. My heart is open, no matter what. I do care for the guy. I fear for the individual. I don't want, the guy has stenosis. That's very, very dangerous. One bad move landing, that could be in a wheelchair for life. The last thing that I'm knocking on wood for him, we do not want to see is him being pretty much one move, can get up, like Austin when he broke his neck against Owen. If we see that, then that's going to be something that, wow, I'll be out of words. I'll probably tell him, I told you so.
I'm hopeful that doesn't happen. I'm pretty confident, I guess. So I think it'll be fine.
Most definitely. All right, so I want to go ahead and move on with now. Do the challenge get accepted from the pinnacle? I say challenge the Inner Circle. Now the Inner Circle now finally came out. Still no Santana, right?
Right.
Okay, so he's still not there. But we got our answer already. So it looks like the Inner Circle accepts the challenge, and they're gonna put it all out there on the Stadium to Stampede 2. And which will save our predictions for that. But I want to ask you about this promo, though, about all of them, their promos. Does it seem too face to you? Is not aggressive enough? I'm just curious to know. I feel in a way that promo was all right, but it wasn't too, I don't know, not too heelish. I know their faces, but I was expecting a little bit more out of Jericho for that promo at the end. So, I mean, you tell me your thoughts about that promo.
I would have wanted more physicality leading up to it. I get it that Blood and Guts definitely took a toll, on both teams, right? Especially Jericho, his arm is legitimately hurt, right? So there's that. Anybody saying, oh, he took that fall and landed on cardboard or whatever. I mean, the cast says it all, right? Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, it's been an interesting lead up because for me, Stadium Stampede, because there's only been one to compare it to, is fun, comical, even. At least that's how it was last year. Adam Page in a horse and drinking in the bar. Meanwhile, the match is going on, so it's almost comical. So this year, they want to make it more serious, and hopefully it is, because I feel like this is what this feud needs.
Yeah.
I believe Chris said this last week, that it needed to be backwards. The blood and guts should have been after Stadium Stampede, because blood and guts was more brutal. It lends itself to being the final chapter. Like, this is it, no more. Stadium Stampede remains to be seen, but yeah, I think that it should be interesting.
Right, definitely. That's going to be very, very interesting to see. All right, so now let's go ahead and move on with the return of Serena Deeb. Coming back from that microscopic surgery in her knee, she finally came back, defended her NWA title versus Red Velvet. I'm going to say this right now. This match was not disappointing. It was great. Loved it both overall. I was glad. Serena, man, she's a technical in the ring. Give her more time. She's already had star power. Give her more time. She's going to be, I think for sure, I would love to see her and in title contention for the AEW Women's title. So same with Red Velvet, the same for her. Give her a little bit more time. Give her, I'd give her at least by next year, she should be main event level ready. Even or by the end of this year, to be honest. And I'm loving the fact that AEW is now focusing on that. And I'm hoping we need more like these type of matches, these type of minutes for the women, especially on Dynamite. So I'm looking. This match was great overall. Serena Deeb picked up the win. Did look heelish in the match though, which is great because no one at the end it benefited both parties. It made Red Velvet look great, even Serena looking like a heelish, but that pretty much makes her look great because she could play either both cards. She could be a heel or a face. So that one is like how we'll have us scratching our heads. Will she turn? Will she be face? Will she stay face? So it's like we don't know. So definitely this match overall did delivered. So what was your thoughts about this fantastic NWA Women's Championship match?
That's very important, being able to do both, right? Effectively. It really gives longevity to a career, because every wrestler needs to turn, right? So look at Jericho. He's had his turns, and I feel it's like a rejuvenation.
Yeah.
To a career, right? Changes character and stuff like that. So definitely to see that early on is a great thing. The match itself, yes, absolutely, man. And Serena, I feel that. Oh, wait, what is this?
Oh, what? Wait a minute. Where
could it be?
Could it be?
It is.
It is.
It's MGC time.
Mad Callis, but we guys technical difficulties. No audio, sir. We have no. Better turn on your audio. There you go.
Oh, okay.
It's connecting.
Yeah. But yes. So, welcome, Matt. How are you?
Yeah, my laptop, apparently the screen exploded white, and so I'm in a new location and was also busy outside painting my guitar. Some people don't respect my time, so I have to.
What do you mean I do respect your time?
No, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about my mom and dad.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Callis.
Matt Callis, yeah, I needed to get home to paint my guitar, and it's like, no, we got to do some other stuff. It's like, can you at least give me the keys? Hey, I fed you. And I'm like, that's what I meant, Ivan.
You got to show the people at home that guitar.
It's still drying outside outside, so it's like it's something I was supposed to do 40 minutes ago. And then I'm also about to make our Clubhouse debut at the same time. So busted computer and being stuck in line at the gas station prevented me from being here sooner than I wanted to. but I'm here regardless. And
That's what matters.
I'm back every week. Callus is back and meaner than ever.
I like that. Oof.
I like this.
I'm opening up our group on Clubhouse, Mike. I don't know if you're still having trouble.
I looked for the app on the Play Store, but I get multiples. I'm not sure which one is which, but we can figure that out after.
It's the one with the girl with the bowl cut.
Ah, okay, interesting.
It's the one with the girl. So I'm making the Circle of Debate Clubhouse group right now. Circle of Debate, AEW and NXT discussion.
And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is pre-recorded. This is not live like on Friday. So in case you guys trying to jump in on Clubhouse on Circle of Debate, we're not there. So it's the day before. So yes,
but you could join in, right?
Absolutely,
join in. For those of you on Clubhouse, and there are many. Conrad Thompson, if you're watching, very much. I know you're on there. I saw your profile.
I know you're there, Conrad.
That's right.
We're keeping an eye out for you.
That's right.
Circle of Debate, AEW and NXT. Feel free. Wrestling discussion. This is what I'm calling the group.
All right.
NXT. Should I put review? AEW and NXT review. So I think that's pretty good.
That's good. But yes, Money Mike, you were saying about the NW about the title.
Oh yeah, the NWA title match. Yeah, Serena Deeb, man, I feel like I always think back to her time in WWE and how she should have been given more with that. So because she's awesome, she's great in the ring. You could tell the ring awareness and the experience in this match. And Red Velvet, I don't know if these two have had matches before, but it does seem like they have some good in-ring chemistry.
Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. You just took that words out of my mouth. I felt that as well. I always question and wonder if they ever had a match before in the independent circuit. I'm curious to know if they do. So. Right. But overall, this match. But what do you see the bright future for both? Now, you watching this match, what are your thoughts of the future for Red and the future for Serena?
Not just the future for them, but the future of the women's division.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, myself included, kind of saw the women's division as the weakest link in AEW. But you go down the roster nowadays, and you start seeing names that you could easily see in title contention and maybe even future title reigns. Jade is well on her way. She has that look. She has the character. She's got Shaq. So definitely. And Red Velvet, she's got the charisma. I see it from a mile away. So definitely a bright future for the women's division.
Absolutely, and I'm just looking forward to for that women's division and the way how it's building up. So we will have to wait and see. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on it. All right, now let's move on. I wanted to go ahead and move on with the Anthony Ogogo. Saw his, in-ring little debut against Austin Gunn. I like the first few minutes. Of course, the first 2 minutes, you see Austin attacking Anthony Ogogo right away. Then Anthony Ogogo with 3 punches. This is like a straight Rocky movie, man. You can just straight out tell. Instead of last week, this is like a straight Rocky movie. Not only that, but I wanted to mention too, the theme song for Anthony Ogogo kind of reminds me, if people who are not familiar, I'm not sure you guys are, but with Netflix, Peaky Blinders, just the intro of it. It kind of reminds me of that that old school British theme song. I enjoyed it. It was incredible to see, but straight out cinematic, tough loss for Austin Gunn. But then we see Anthony Ogogo taking the American flag away from Cody. I just gotta say this right now to both of them, and I don't know how it is here in the United States, but I think it is. Be careful with the flags, because Jericho will tell you what happened when he did to another flag. He got fined. I think he got suspended. I think there's the same thing here in the U.S. Mike maybe will know, or
Chill.
Oh, it was
Chill.
What was it?
It's
It was
more
in
chill.
Brazil.
Oh,
I
okay.
think some people like physically tried to attack Jericho, if I'm not mistaken. I remember that story correctly.
Okay. But see, I'm just saying that because if depending how the laws are, because burning a flag or damaging a flag, I don't know if it's a big ass fine. So I'd be careful with that. But you're saying Mike is chill, right? So you said there's that law kind of chill out.
Sort of. So I don't know. I was in the ROTC or JROTC in middle school, so I was a Kadork, and I was there, yes sir, and all that stuff. So I was taught, one of the things I remember of my time there was to respect the flag.
Right.
Never let the flag touch the floor.
Yep.
Yes. And honestly, regardless of political views or anything like that, I feel that having respect about the flag, or for the flag, or for where you're from, I feel like it's a good concept. And in professional wrestling, if you're wanting to get a reaction from the crowd, I feel like that's an easy way to do it. For a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, when it comes to flags, as evidenced by the Jericho and Brazil situation, get triggered by something like that. I myself, I understand sports entertainment. It's cool, all that good stuff. I get it. But like in real life, I would not. If I saw my next door neighbor just throw the flag to the floor, I would be like, hey, chillax a little bit, man. It's different. But for the purposes of sports entertainment, I understand, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people do too.
Nationalism, basically.
Yes. Take it away, man, Callis. We want to hear the words of the god of podcasting as well.
My glasses are in the other room, so I can't transform as freely. I wasn't here for Chris's review of the whole, Cody promo. I thought the Cody promo was kind of interesting in a ways, because it was like Cornette's view of it is like, wait a minute, we're not at war with Russia, and we're like, who's the Pakistani 15-year-old you're talking about? And he's like, he didn't know it was Shad, because I knew he was talking about Shad Khan, like Tony Khan's dad, but he could have. For those who don't know, that's not widely known information, more or less. So, okay. Oh yeah, and circle of debate milestone. We had our first randos coming in to listen.
All right.
So we're getting randos coming in and out. So Clubhouse, the joy of Clubhouse. Oh my God, so spectacular. We're here.
Mike, what are we supposed to do about this?
No, hey.
Now we gotta encourage it.
No, I'll say this
now.
I've heard, or we've heard Matt talk about Clubhouse for months on end. Now is the time. I'm so much looking forward to this. I'm downloading the app as I speak, so I'm very much looking forward to it. And to be fair,
he doesn't like you downloading the Clubhouse. That's why he's getting back.
The dog, Mike won't be able to pay attention to me if we're on Clubhouse.
No, I'll say this. I'll give Matt a lot of credit, because he was right about Makito. He's been right about a number of things. So Clubhouse, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna enjoy it and spend a lot of precious hours on it.
Also, don't forget, as well, Circle Debate will be on Twitter. It's on Twitter as well, so we'll be doing Twitter Spaces. A shout out to the Angle Podcast, Jobber Tears. I had a little preview with them last Friday. We did a collaboration speaking about the preview of WrestleMania Backlash, and
it was a really big room.
It was a big room that we had that I had last past Friday. So keep an eye on that, ladies and gentlemen, for also this week, for next weekend as well, because for AEW's Dynamite next Fridays, we might do that on Twitter Space. Discuss about it. We might do that. So make sure you keep an eye on that. Stay tuned. We'll still have follow us on social media to keep an eye on that.
Us in the wrestling podcast community, I'll say we were able to get either the second or third biggest Twitter space I've seen personally so far. The largest one was from the K-pop community, and that was about 700 people. The wrestling community was it was like 60, 70 people in that room at the highest.
Just wait till I get in there.
Uh-oh.
Ooh,
The
just
god
wait.
of the god of podcasting, man.
Podcasting.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Money Mike Omega, right? Here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to, yes, we finally got what we wanted. We mentioned it last week on the last week's episode. We did mention it, that are we seeing a tease of Miro, who's he going to challenge? Who's going to be his next challenger? And this was answered. We finally got it. It's now updated in the card, Double or Nothing. Now we have Miro versus Lance Archer. Man, I love Lance Archer's promo. The same with Miro's. It was great. Especially, Lance, oh, yeah, you're going to be my next Bulgarian bitch. And then I was like, whoa. Love that promo. And then obviously Miro was like, oh, I heard that before. Yeah, if you say everybody dies, but I'll make sure that you go first. Love it. 2 heavyweights going to go at it. Cannot wait to see this. So I'm going to go to Money Mike. Are you excited? You finally got your answer. Finally, we get 2 of the biggest heavyweights of all time. I mean, at this in AEW, going at it, clashing for the TNT title. Are you excited for this?
This match is probably the match I'm looking forward to the most. So AEW said that they're going to broadcast Double or Nothing in movie theaters. I got my tickets. I'm ready to go. So I'm looking, especially this match. Woof. It's going to be awesome. Man, it's not so often that you get such a match like this. 2 heavyweights, 2 monsters that could, in their prime, they can go out in the ring for sure. So a couple years ago, you would have said this was a dream match, right? In sorts. And here we are. I am looking forward to it. And who do I think is going to take it? I think Miro is going to take it, but it's going to be a fun ride for sure.
Mac Hallis.
Okay, I got to say, Gold has avoided Lance Archer for too long in AEW. It seems just about justified that Lance Archer defeats Miro at this moment in time, given Miro is newly minted as champion. It's just that Gold's eluded him so long, and Lance Archer deserves that big win, for so long, or otherwise it would kind of, diminish the threat, and I've been a big fan of his. I think this is the first time I've seen Lance Archer up against somebody with like a more martial arts type of style. Cause the Darby Allins and your Cody's is more of a grappler. And then you have, when he was up against Will Ospreay in Japan, more your high flyer. But, Miro, he specializes in kicks, boxing, all that stuff, the MMA kind of background mixed with the power moves, So we'll get to see some really cool spots from this match coming up. Like, no matter what the result, this is going to be a good match. I just hope the AEW bookers give it enough time to grow. Give the flower time to blossom. Per se. Not 20 minutes, not 30. I want a good chunk of time from this match.
Iron Man match.
I think we're all waiting for that too. I mean, we don't know. And then we don't know how long this event's going to be. I think this should be like a straight 3.5-hour event. I'm hoping, maybe a little bit less. I mean, who knows? Because the card is so stacked. But we will talk about that in next week's episode on the Go Away Home for that episode 56 about the card for Double or Nothing, because they're still subject to change. They're still adding cards, so we still have to wait and find out. All right, and now we get to the main event of the evening for AEW, and of course we have the Young Bucks defeating the Varsity Blondes alongside with their new cheerleader Julia Hart, which someone needs to explain to me why she's there. I'm still huh? But I'm not saying that it's not a bad move. I'm just trying to get a better understanding for me to get
not a member of the Hart family, right?
No, I know that, but I'm just saying just her being part of that group. I mean, okay, I get it. The varsity word, the blondes, you got the cheerleaders. Those are some of what Degrassi type of fucking I don't know, like, you know.
I like that you referenced that. Oh my God.
Yeah, or, I mean, I can represent or Saved by the Bell too. I could go old school. I can reference that, but I'm not trying to hate. No pun intended. No hating on, you know, on Pillman and Griff Garrison. No, none of that.
I never thought we'd hear a Degrassi reference on this show. I always think of, like, you know, when you're in middle school and high school, like all the really like whack preppy girls watch Degrassi. Oh my God.
I watched Degrassi.
I seen it, so
I watch it all the time.
I seen it, so.
Okay, I saw a clip once.
Okay. Okay. That's what we call it nowadays. All right. So yes, we did see the Young Bucks defeating the Varsity Blondes. In the aftermath, we did see Moxley and Kingston coming out. They put them to sleep, took away their shoes, and that was the ending of the show. And I was just like, wow, they took the shoes. Because, you know, remind you of, like, previously when he ran over the, you know, their what was it, their motorhome or whatever it's called, they ran over for. There you see how Eddie Kingston was looking for the shoes. Where the shoes at, B? Where the shoes be? And then he ended up finding them. So now he ended up taking the shoes from the Young Bucks and even their socks. Why will you take their socks? What's up with that? Like, what? Okay, these are socks out of this. You take the shoes. You know, we're, you know, born in the hood, gangsters. No, no mas of that. That was when we were kids, right, Mike? You tell them, Mike. Tell them we were kids.
Yeah, we were. You know, it was a long time ago.
That's my favorite gang, the sock stealing gang.
I wonder if they're gonna tie up the shoelaces and throw them over on the power cords there.
Oh,
you know, $10,000 shoes.
That'll be kind of funny. That'll be a fun image.
Man, you know what a fun match would be? You know, you have the shoes hanging above the ring, ladder match.
That'll be pretty awesome.
A ladder match for the Dior shoes, right?
For the Dior,
and they
Dior
all have to be
Jordans.
barefoot to get their shoes on.
Yeah.
It's like a sneakerhead ladder match challenge, and they got to go for like limited edition Jordans or something like that. All you sneakerheads be hollering.
Well, yes, I mean, your thoughts about the match, though, Money Mike. So let us know.
Okay. So I spoke with David. And I made this my match of the week. And I told him why. I told him that, well, you're just going to have to tune in for that one.
Okay.
But I will say this. I will say that it's great how AEW can be considered the land of opportunity. You know, in WWE, the Hollywood Blondes would be just jobbers, you know, or lower mid card. No offense, guys. You know,
Varsity Blondes.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Stone Cold. But yes, so you know, I give AEW a lot of credit because they're willing to give the main event spot to a couple of young guys, right? And you know, Young Bucks are there too. So you know, it's all good. Opportunity, it's great. It gives an audience to see the opportunity to see someone new and fresh week by week.
I agree with that. I mean, it was your old school classic heel face match. Overall, it wasn't. I mean, there were a couple upsetting moves, but it was just your classic heel face. The heels making the face looking great. Then the heels turns out the winner, and they looking like $1 million. But then they get they get jacked. They get 5-finger discount for the shoes. That's what happens. Matt Callis, take it away for that main event.
I gotta think the setup for it. I think it further brings Brian Pillman Jr. into the spotlight as a main eventer, as you know, not just a main eventer, but as somebody who has, you know, has ability to hold in the ring. Like, he was a champion in MLW. And when I first started watching, you know, AEW from Double or Not, the first Double or Nothing, I really thought Brian Pillman was I was going to see him weekly as a single star. Kind of like, I thought he would be in the same place as Sammy Guevara is in now, like getting singles matches and storylines built around him. But like I guess it was either him being green or him just wanting to maybe him not thinking he's ready yet, But I feel I want to see Brian Pillman solo matches a lot sooner than later.
Oh, there you go.
But I'll say this about the upcoming Moxley versus Eddie Kingston match. I mean, Eddie Kingston and Moxley versus the Young Bucks match. It's going to be a really funny contrast to have this more serious, kind of like tough guy, reality-based group with these kind of like funny, heels, together. It'll be really fun. I know there's gonna be a little bit of seriousness and comedy, like kind of how Moxley played with Orange Cassidy that one time when he put his hands in his pockets. Like, my God, that was so brutal. Moxley putting his hands in his pockets. So we might see something fun kind of like that in this match, in combination with like the rough side of the Young Bucks as well.
Definitely. And like I said, we're looking forward, which we'll get into that for next week's episode. But now let's go to AEW news. The big announcement, of course, was already made. Of course, the huge announcement for the Khan family. Of course, they extended their contract with Turner Media. Of course, they now, I believe they signed a 4-year extension now. And also they'll be moving to TBS next year for 2022. But their new program, another hour show called AEW Rampage, will be debuting on August the 3rd, August the 12th. Will be debuting. No, August is the 12th or 11th, I think. Well, 12th is a Saturday. Somewhere around, I think it's no, you know what? I'm confused. No, yeah, August 12th. August 12th is where it's going to be debuting. It's a 1-hour show. The reason why it was a 1-hour show, Khan was given the option to add a 3rd hour to Dynamite. He said no. He'd rather not do it. He'd rather just go ahead and leave it as 2-hour how it is. But Rampage is not going to be like a secondary show. It will be like pretty much a continuation of Dynamite. But, okay, this is the aftermath with some Rampage. So with an hour of Rampage. And this is going to be interesting to see because now, even though we're not jumping the gun, ladies and gentlemen, we're just giving our opinions about it. Of course, it's not going to go head-to-head with Friday Night SmackDown. But it's not going to be – it will – it's kind of like testing the waters to see how the outcome would be. I don't think it matters at all, to be honest. I don't think AEW is concerned of trying to beat SmackDown's ratings compared to their ratings. I don't think that matters to them. It's just me. Just my opinion about it. But I'm very happy for the Khan and the Khan family. They're making about 8 figures with this, the extension. It's a lot of gross of money. 10 figures. 10 figures now. Oh, 10 figures. Now 10. That's a lot of money. Jesus. 10 figures. So
John Spears has definitely something to say about it.
Yes, 10. Definitely. So I'm excited for them. But now you got to change the title from TNT to TBS title now, next year. So it'll be now the TBS title. That's going to be 2022. So I'm going to go to you, Matt Callis. Back to you. Your thoughts about this move and what you are looking forward to seeing with AEW and moving to TBS.
A lot of things. As an elementary school boy, I caught Thursday Night Thunder a few times, just randomly. Like when I wasn't watching wrestling regularly, I always curiously gazed on Thursday Night Thunder. So this is going to be kind of like just reminiscent of that. But this is the other really big thing. This goes back to my little theory video that I made, that I talked about, AEW just suddenly is now also on, it's both, what was it? It was, to be sure, I've got my facts straight. Both Dynamite and Rampage are going to be on TBS.
Yes, but, well.
What I heard was Rampage was going to be on TNT. That they're staying on TNT for that. But TBS is going to be Dynamite.
Interesting.
That's what I understood.
Well, here's the main thing I want to bring out of this, other than like the comparisons with SmackDown and whatnot. I mean, I love them having a B show because like I love watching wrestling twice a week rather than once. Like I want main storylines on another show during the week. So it doesn't matter to me if it's on the same day as SmackDown or on a different day. you know, I want a main storyline show because I love how, like, the fact that I had to watch Raw and SmackDown to kind of follow along with the main storylines leading up to the pay-per-views. That's like the routine I got so used to. So I'm always disappointed nowadays just watching one show for one pay-per-view, you know, more or less. But here's the main thing I'm calling back to, and you guys kind of know where I was going with this. Isn't it kind of funny that AEW is coming to TBS? And I pointed out, I don't have this picture, but it's better that I just say it because I don't have it on this computer. Picture John Cena has a show on TBS called Wipeout.
Yes.
It's about to premiere in, I guess, a few months. And by the time AEW comes to TBS, Wipeout's already going to be several episodes in, just like Thunder in Paradise was several episodes in when Hulk Hogan was on it. And not Raw, Nitro was already on TNT. So this is about the parallels are just getting closer and closer as the days go on. Like, I wasn't even expecting them to have anything to do with TBS ever. So this is just pointing more fingers towards the future and what's possible. So, and the fact that back when I came up with my theory for John Cena, you know, we didn't have the vaccine out. We weren't sure how long we'd be in this pandemic. So now that the crowds are coming back, you know, I know John Cena, if I was him, I'd be both waiting for the crowds to come back, and maybe the debut episode of Rampage would be more than a perfect time for me to make history. Just kind of like, it's kind of like if it's on the debut episode of SmackDown. So if I was John Cena, I would show up at the very last 5 minutes of Rampage. If I was him, 2022, perfect timing. And he could still be on TBS Wipeout, co-promoting between the two. It's on the same channel now.
Interesting.
AEW and John Cena are on the same channel. And who knows? They're probably a few production stages away from each other.
Maybe he walks all over there for a little bit. You know what? I've learned never say never.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna say, oh, that's never gonna happen, because never say never. Absolutely. You know, it could happen. I remember Matt talking about Maki Ito, and I remember thinking, well, how would that work? How could she appear in AEW? And it happened. She did. Out of nowhere, she became part of the tournament in Japan. Then she came out on Dynamite itself.
On AEW Revolution, tag teaming with Britt Baker.
That's right.
So
popular demand.
So Matt has been right about some things, and you know what? I'm not doubting him on this one. As humongous of a mountain this has to be climbed to, you know, get over the hurdle, so to speak. As much as that needs to happen, it could. It's not outside the realm of possibility.
On the same channel and
same
right
channel.
Now,
Warner Media is in cahoots with John Cena right now, and if he wants to further his career and get in the good graces of the higher ups at Warner, he's gonna appear on Dynamite and or Rampage. Maybe not in a wrestling capacity, but just to wave at the crowd.
Like I kept saying, well, who knows how it could start. I remember Hulk Hogan's debut in WCW was at Disney World. Hulk Hogan was in a car in Disney World, and Eric Bischoff and Mean Gene, they were all in a car with Mickey Mouse together, waving at all the kids. So I'm wondering if they might even parody that, just to it'll be John Cena with Mickey Mouse and Tony Khan, like, hey everybody.
That we'll have to wait and see if that happens. I mean, I'm looking forward to that.
Matsui Jirina is my other prediction, by the way, Mike. So that's the other Japanese pop star coming to AEW. Like I said,
at this point, I believe it.
All right. Well, let's jump on now to none other than New Japan, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. That's right. That's why it's right behind me. We're in New Japan. Because now, speaking of the crowd is back, and they'll be back this weekend, of course, because now we're going to go ahead and move forward with Wrestle Grand Slam. Obviously, there's been a couple matches announced, not a full card specifically. Now that everybody's back to normal, now that Japan kind of reopened. But here's there's sad news about it. The biggest sad news in Japan, unfortunately, is Will Ospreay had to vacate the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion due to a neck injury. The biggest question now, New Japan has not announced anything as of yet. Who should be the next one to be competing for the title? People are saying should be Shingo Takagi and Okada facing each other for the vacated championship. We have Money Mike saying, of course, of the god of pro wrestling, Kenny freaking Omega, going for that championship belt. People are saying Jay White. People are saying Kota Ibushi should get his rematch on this. We don't know what's the outcome of it. We don't even know what Gaito's going to do with this booking. I don't know where they're going to go with this. And this is it's an unfortunate loss for Will Ospreay losing this opportunity. Short term, nothing but we wish him for speedy recovery and getting that championship belt back, because this is a shocker to shock the world, because this. He was already getting up there, especially with Empire, running Empire, the faction, and we're moving ahead. And I was looking forward to seeing him and Okada for, I believe it was, for the upcoming pay-per-views, I believe in June. But looks like all of this just happened unexpectedly. So, Matt Callis, your thoughts? Who should be the one contending for the vacated IWGP World Heavyweight Champion? What are your thoughts about that?
Here's the most obvious path that knowing New Japan and how they operate is that they might do a very short tournament from this, just not a long one. They might do a short tournament, kind of like they did. I think it was after Tanahashi had to forfeit the title, or maybe it was after Brock Lesnar forfeited the title. So they might do maybe a very short, kind of like how AEW had their short-term tournament for their title. So it might be a short-term tournament. And here's a kind of fun and interesting way. Since New Japan does allow a lot of wrestlers from outside promotions who don't have permanent New Japan, it might not be, we could all be right with everybody who's challenging for it, because we could throw them all into the tournament and everybody could have a little bit of what they want. And everybody wins in this process. It's a win-win-win situation with the forfeiting of the title, because we could bring in wrestlers from New Japan Strong in the USA, of course, your native New Japan wrestlers, Ring of Honor wrestlers, and then of course, now that the Forbidden Door's open, we could see some AEW people challenging for that title, and it's obvious, like, of course, the god of professional wrestling. Oh, you guys want me to run and grab the glasses? I can do that.
Matt, why haven't you already?
He should have done that a while back.
Yes.
Yeah, I should. I'll run and grab the glasses. I'll be less than 40 seconds, timing.
All right. Money Mike,
okay.
Thoughts.
I don't usually talk during these New Japan segments, because I like to hear what these guys have to say. And honestly, I got something to say this time. Kenny Omega needs to give the people what they want, courtesy of Dirty Heels. He needs to get the belt. He has to. He needs to be the Thanos of pro wrestling. He's already got the TNA. Oh crap! What is that?
Absolutely.
There he is with the glasses now.
All others in that tournament, we know that tournament's coming, but all others are shadows and insects. Are insects in the shadow of the god of professional wrestling, Kenny. By God, Omega.
When the man is right, the man is right. Because Kenny Omega has the TNA belt, Impact, AAA, AEW. He needs that New Japan one. Make it happen, people. Just give him the belt.
It will be so historic.
Oh,
And
the
all
biggest.
3 different eyes will be on the New Japan product as a result of this tournament coming up. So it's you could see a variety of different people from Impact, like Moose could be in this tournament. Imagine how cool that would be.
Yeah, I mean, we still have to wait to see what the outcome of it will yet. Well, we're gonna keep an eye on it for sure, and we'll definitely keep you guys updated. What will happen with New Japan for sure. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we let you go over part 2, very briefly, we'll be very quick with part 2. So we have a guest coming in shortly. Money Mike will stick around for at least another few minutes with part 2. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, also tune in to New Japan Strong USA every Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And also don't forget, tomorrow, Saturday will be GSW Catalyst pay-per-view Fight TV May 22nd. Make sure you order now on Fight TV. Subscribe. It's only $15.99. Make sure you guys do that. And also, congratulations to Alex Steele winning, becoming the first World Heritage Champion for Championship Wrestling from Memphis. Congratulations winning that Grand City Rumble. Man, great Rumble, by the way. So if you have not seen it, go back on our YouTube channel and watch that. So make sure you do. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Part 2. We'll start right after this.